Alright, here we go. This is Otogirisou. I do believe this is the very first game made by Chunsoft, the folks that make Danganronpa. The very first visual novel game they did, and it's a very spooky, horror, atmospheric one. This was before they became Chunsoft. This is just Chunsoft. But anyway, let's get into this. This is really atmospheric from the little bit I've seen of it. And so I had to stop watching, and I wanted to play it myself. Definitely a good game for Spooky Month, so let's get into it. Alright. Chunsoft. Here we go, y'all. I'm going to make it a little bit more atmospheric by reducing my light just a little. Just enough where you guys can still see my ugly ass face. I mean, beautiful face. I mean, shut up. Otogirisou. Alright, we're gonna name our character. It's gonna be me. All in all caps. Here we go. Spooky story time. The narrow mountain road weaved back and forth. I'm not sure if it was because of the shadows from the mountain or something else, but it felt oddly gloomy. The trees were all lined up in a row, like a procession of corpses, and the way the rocks were shaped made them look like monsters. I decided to put those disturbing thoughts out of my head. I could hear Nami from One Piece breathing lightly as she slept. She was awake until just a moment ago. I figured she must be tired after a day of fishing at the river. She looked so beautiful as she slept, and I crept on her. As I gripped the steering wheel, I couldn't help but gaze at her. Ah! Mitsu! A car! Nami suddenly shouted. Without thinking, I was just about to hit the brakes, but there was no car heading toward us at all. Nami. Oh, that was a dream? Come on, get it together. I pretended like I was going to smack her with my elbow. You know, playfully. And at the time, I thought about how cute Nami was. I shivered just like I had a premonition of something sinister. Which one, chat? At the time, I thought about how cute Nami was. At the time, I shivered. Just like I'd seen a premonition of something sinister. I shivered. Like I just had a premonition of something sinister. Nami looked out the window. Hey, Mitsu? In all caps? What? What's the name of those flowers, I wonder? I noticed them earlier. There was a big stretch of yellow flowers beside the road that had long, thin stems and elliptical leaves. They go by a few names. Hypericums, St. John's wort, or Otogirisou. Spelled out, that's brother cut flowers. Otogirisou. Oto is brother. Yeah. There's a weird story about those flowers. I thought I'd tell Nami to make the drive a little interesting, so I figured I could embellish the story. I decided to make it a little spooky. Well, it's on Spooky Month, guys. We have no choice but to make it a little spooky. If you shine a light through these elliptical leaves, you can see a bunch of black spots on them. Those are the blood of a young man who was cut down by his older brother after some bad blood between them. Sound effects just spooked me out. Alright, can you focus, camera? The spots are the younger brother's blood? It was back in the Heian era, somewhere between the year 794 and 1185. That's a very large gap of time. There were two brothers. They were falconers. They'd passed down a secret medicine in their family for generations. Look at that NES or SNES Falcon. It was used to treat Falcon's wounds, but the secret got out. The younger brother had told his girlfriend, and the older brother was furious. Nami held her breath, knowing what was coming. He took a katana and lopped off his brother's head. Thwack. Nami flinched. That was much shorter than the... So, when I originally played it, I guess it's because of the choice I picked. That section was much longer and told the whole story. It's probably because I chose the spooky version. Oh, I loved video game rain. The spray of blood hit the leaves, and after that, they called the Hypericum flowers Otogirisou, the brother cup flowers. That really happened? Struck by the falling rain, the Hypericums bobbed up and down. It looked like they were nodding yes. Even they know. What a sad story. I can't believe he'd kill his own brother over that. I saw that tears had come to her eyes. Nami, an only child, was easily moved to tears by any story that was remotely emotional. I began to wonder if I'd taken it a little too far, or B, I thought I'd change the subject. I thought I'd change the subject. I'm so hungry, Nami. Hey, more importantly, are we heading the right way? I feel like this place looks really different compared to before. Now that she mentioned it, it did look different. I think we're going the right way. Now that you mention it, it's weird. This was supposed to be a shortcut. A lot more choices than I was expecting. I think we're going the right way? I think we're going the right way. I flipped on the windshield wipers. It was getting pretty dark out. There weren't any lights on this road, and it was narrow. It wasn't easy to see which way the road would turn. When I turned on the headlights, I could tell that there was a sign up ahead, but I couldn't see it well enough to read it. I sped up a little bit. Oh god, he did speed up. I got closer to the sign. Curve ahead. Slow down. That's what was written on the sign. Looking ahead, there was a downward slope that curved to the right. I lightly stepped on the brake, but my foot felt no resistance against the brake pedal. I ended up pushing it all the way down to the floor of the car. Huh? I stepped on the brake 2 or 3 times, but the pedal just tapped the floor. There was no response, and the car kept gradually picking up speed on the downward slope. The brakes aren't working. Rain was striking the car's windshield furiously. I could see the sign zip right past the side of the car window at high speed and vanish from sight. Look, just ahead. Nami thrust her finger forward and raised her voice. The curve was now right in front of us. I hurried to cut the clutch and drop into low gear. My body pitched forward and the seatbelt dug into me. Ouch. When I looked up, I could see the mountain slope coming closer and closer. I took my left hand off the lever and turned the steering wheel sharply to the right. Ah! Nami's screaming was piercing. I managed to avoid crashing the car, but at the next corner, another car was driving toward us. Ah! No! We're gonna crash. I pulled the parking brake, tried bumping into the trees on the side of the road to stop the car. I hoped for the best and tried stepping on the brake one more time. Oh, fuck. No, we're going way too fast. We're going to hit those trees and we're going to die. I'm going to pull the parking brake. Hope for the best and try to step on the brake one more time. Parking brake. In this situation, I pulled the parking brake. I could feel the back of the car swerve. The car had gone off the road and to the right, straight into some tall, thick grass. The car that had been coming our way veered left and honked as it zoomed along out of sight. Phew. The tension left my body and I slumped back against the seat. My whole body was covered in sweat. Looking at the passenger seat, I saw that Nami was hanging her head down. Are you okay? I thought we were dead. Same here. I could see beads of sweat on Nami's forehead, too. You're not hurt, are you? I asked Nami, or... I look around. You're not hurt, are you? Sure, I'm not hurt, but... I am shaking. Me too. Oh, God! Bro. Ah! A bolt of lightning fell on a tree right before our eyes. It split the tree in two and set it on fire. It's coming down! We flew out of the car. Me too, your car. Oh, God damn it, I just paid it off. The tree had finally fallen directly onto the car, smashing it. The top of the car had caved in and the front windshield was busted. It was a sad sight, not a bad sight, but both could be also bad. It'll be fine. At least we're both okay. I hid how disappointed I felt. It took all I had in me to keep a strong front. Maybe you could get it remodeled into a convertible. Oh, now that's a good idea. The car caught fire. Well, that dream didn't last very long, did it? It was stupid of me to dream of it in the first place. Let's get this mic a little bit closer to my face so we can really get the words. It wouldn't have worked anyway. Remodeling an ordinary car into a convertible would have just looked lame. I muttered to myself. Nami gave me a pat on the back. Sour grapes! The hell? Anyway. What the fuck? What should we do now, Mitsu? Your car's been totaled, and it's raining. She sounded worried. Let's see. I felt worried, so I moved closer to Nami. We should start by looking for a path. I pointed to a light in the distance. I would probably point to the light in the distance in this situation, right? Well, this too. How about I would probably do all three. Let's point to the light in the distance. I pointed to a light in the distance. I could see a light just beyond the tall, thick grass. Let's look for some shelter from the rain that way, Nami. I pulled out a flashlight and a bag with some clothes to change into from what remained of the car. It started to rain even harder. Ah! Nami came over and clung to me. The rain's getting worse. Let's pick up the pace. Oh! Nami and I had both said the same thing at the same time. Jinx, you owe me a soda. There was a line of nothing but hypericums. Hypericums? Yeah, I mean, I'm pronouncing that right, aren't I, chat? They looked almost like a path that was leading us toward the light. That's when I said, let's go check it out for the time being, Nami, or maybe we shouldn't go. Let's check it out. Maybe we shouldn't go. Like, checking out the hypericums? Let's go check it out. Fuck it. This is a horror game. Let's go check it out for the time being, Nami. Okay. We continue walking. Suddenly, Nami stopped dead in her tracks. Nami? She was silently pointing at something. The house. The house, chat. It was an old mansion, just like in every other horror game. Not only were the lights on one of the windows, the whole building seemed to glow with a blue, otherworldly light, like it was a video game or something. That building. Nami held her breath. It almost looks like it's glowing. It does, doesn't it? I could feel a chill run down my spine. I was getting goosebumps. Are we still going in there anyway, Mitsu? When Nami asked me that, I decided to head straight back to where we came from. Well, I mean, I think this is where we're supposed to go. So, I decided to head straight inside. It should be a good test of our courage, because that's important in this current situation. Let's go. Your voice is trembling, Mitsu. Let's go. I was just adding a little vibrato to it. No, you weren't. You're pissing yourself, me. We don't have to do it if you don't want to. Let's turn back. That's exactly what I wanted to do. But I didn't want her to think of me as less as didn't want her to think of me as less of a man if she didn't already think so with how badly I voice over. Oh, excuse me. We're gonna run in. Now shut up and follow my lead. Damn. My voice trembled again. We ran. Nami ran like a wild goat, very specifically for some reason, falling about 5 meters behind me, which is about 15 feet, by the time I reached the front gate. Of course, the people who translated this to English had to make sure that they mentioned feet, how much meters are in feet, because we don't know that shit, because we're dumb. By the time I reached the front gate, let's go inside. And then, I thought I'd enter without any hesitation, so Nami wouldn't be scared. I felt lost about whether or not we should actually go in. Let's just fucking go in, dude. I thought I'd enter without any hesitation, so Nami wouldn't be scared. I easily pushed open the heavy-looking doors of the gate, which gleamed black, wet from rain. But they put up no resistance. Excuse us, we're coming inside. Don't take that out of context. We politely bowed before taking the first step beyond the gates. The whole garden was filled with hypericums in bloom. All they're growing are hypericums. At that moment, something raced by. Oh, it's a cat. Hell yeah, let's fucking go. A cat? Man, it scared me. But I want it. It's a black cat. I love black cats. The black cats turned back to face us. Its body began to swell with light and turned to green. What? No, a green cat? The green cat quickly left, heading through the many hypericums in the field. Mitsu? Without delay, I said, our eyes must be tired. It must be a trick of the light. It must be a trick of the light. We had it was a blue house earlier. The wind grew strong. I sent a wave through the countless yellow flowers. The wave moved from the gate to the mansion. I could almost feel the mansion shake from the impact of the wave, and then it stopped. I stood there in the rain, struck by the thought that I had just witnessed something sinister and dark. Hey! Nami put her hand up to her ear. Do you hear that? Something's rustling. What? You mean the wind blowing through the leaves? Not that. Something else. Suddenly a speckled snake slithered out from the stairs. Oh god, a snake! I could see its fang glistening in its open mouth. You hear it, right? That sound. What are you talking about? Look! It's a snake! A snake? I took Nami by the hand and ran toward the mansion in a panic. Hey, wasn't that a rattlesnake? What's it doing in a place like this? Nami shouted as we ran. How should I know? Why don't you ask the snake yourself, dumbass? It's venomous. It's venomous. Snakes aren't poisonous, they're venomous. I owned snakes. I know this. At one point in my life. If I tried talking to it, it'd bite me for sure. We screamed back and forth at each other as we sprinted as hard as we could. We ran up to the stone steps to the entrance. And when we turned back, we saw the snake slithering toward us over the brick-lined path. I'm gonna get you, he said. I grabbed the door's handle. The door was locked, and it wouldn't even budge. Opened a flushing door. Excuse me, could you open the door, please? There's a snake that's gonna kill us. Please. There didn't seem to be any response from inside the mansion. Mitsu, it's coming. It's coming closer, Nami shrieked. I decided to break the window on the right side entrance, or I slammed my body against the door as hard as I could. I think I want to slam my body against the door. I put all of my power into my right shoulder and slammed into the door as hard as I could. It's a good thing the door was so old. After 2 or 3 hits, the lock broke and the momentum sent me falling straight through the entrance. That takes care of that. Oh, you're bleeding. Nami grabbed my hand. My left hand had been scratched and it was bleeding. Oh, it'll be fine. It's just a scratch. I sucked at the wound. Delicious. Don't do that. You need to get it properly treated. Yeah, here from nowhere. In the middle of nowhere, I should say. Nami took out a handkerchief from her pocket and wrapped it around my hand. It smelled faintly of roses. Not hypericums. It's fucked up. This is all I can do for you now, but I'll tend to it later. Thanks. I felt a bit bashful. She likes me. But anyway, The lock's useless now, huh? Whoever owns this place will probably give us an earful once they find out. We'll have to apologize to them ahead of time then. I stood up and looked around. It was a spacious entrance. There was a hall with stairs leading up to the second floor, and a large chandelier hung from the ceiling. On the left side there was a large brick fireplace with a cloth-covered sofa set in front of it. Is anybody home? I raised my voice and walked further inside. We just let ourselves in, Nami also shouted, but nobody replied. Maybe nobody's home? Yeah. Well, whatever. Oh god, we're actually Squall. Let's sit down for a while. I'm exhausted. I walked over to the sofa. I saw there was a suit of Western-style armor that had been placed beside the fireplace. Yo, I'd seen suits of armor on TV and in photographs, but this was the first time I'd ever seen one in person. People fighting in the Middle Ages actually wore these things? It occurred to me how heavy it must have been for those people to wear them. Hey, what's up with that? Nami tapped my shoulder. What's up with what? That, there. Nami pointed over to the right side of the entrance hall. A huge aquarium had been placed up against the wall. There wasn't anything particularly unique about the shape of it. It was just an ordinary-looking glass aquarium you'd find anywhere, set in a silver-colored frame. The problem was the size. It was abnormally large, like for a shark or something. You think there's something inside of it? I went over to the aquarium. The inside of the glass was covered with mildew, and the water was really dirty. Even if something was in there, you wouldn't be able to see what it was. I reached over the top and tried to stick my hand inside. I thought about taking a peek from above. Well, that sounds like one good way to get my hand eaten off. So let's just take a peek. Thinking I could take a peek from above, I moved over a small sofa that was in front of the fireplace. Let's get even more cozy, guys. Standing on the sofa and looking down, I could see a black mass within the dark water. I couldn't tell if it was a creature, or some kind of boulder, or maybe algae. I didn't have any idea. Well, do you see anything in there? No, nothing. At that moment, the black clump moved a little. Ugh. Something that looked like a ping pong ball floated to the top. Ugh. I looked away. It smelled like rotten fish, and the stench made me feel nauseous. I held my breath as I looked down once more, but I couldn't see that anything had changed. What could that have been? And then came from the second floor. Someone's got to be here then. Let's go see. This is very atmospheric. I'm going to turn it up a little bit at my own peril. We walked up the stairs at the entrance. Oh, my back hurts a little bit too. Guys, try not to get older. Hey, Even though we'd come as far as to walk up the staircase, Nami was whispering to me. What should we say if we meet whoever lives here? We'll be honest with them. Oh. Tell them we had an accident on the road. What else are we supposed to say to Huh? What's the matter? Wasn't there a suit of armor over there? Oh, fuck. I pointed to the side of the fireplace. Yeah? Oh. The suit of armor had vanished. Well, whatever. Let's go and check out that sound anyway. At the top of the stairs, the corridor went to the left and to the right. I think the sound came from this way. We walked down the hallway to the right. Which room could it be? Shh. I can hear it again. This is it. There's no reply. Are they not here? I opened the door without hesitation. It was dark inside. It didn't seem like anyone was there. There was a wooden table in the corner to the left, with an electric light stand on it, which glowed with a red light. I saw another table, a smaller one, right beside it. It had a checkered cloth on top of it, and a single book. I stepped inside of the room. Whoa! The door suddenly slammed shut behind me. Panicked, I turned to the doorknob. Or still, I paid it no mind and walked over to check out the book on the table. Nami, look at the door, I yelled. Single ding is unnerving. I don't know if I want to yell. I might get killed. I paid no mind and walked over to check out the book on the table. I paid it no mind and walked over to check out the book on the table. Oh. My foot got snagged on a cord, and the stand crashed to the floor. The red light shined on the floor, lighting up the legs of the smaller table. Or so I thought. I could see that it wasn't actually a table. The red light on the floor had lit up the silver-colored spokes of a wheelchair. Oh, a wheelchair. What I thought was a small table was actually the lap of a person sitting in the wheelchair. Gulp. I could see their slippers by the light of the stand that had fallen onto the floor. Oh, I'm sorry for coming in here so suddenly. We should have knocked, but flustered, I turned to pick up the stand from the floor. There's no need to apologize, Nami said, which seemed like a strange thing for her to say. I agree. Then I looked up. The person sitting in the wheelchair was a mummy. Oh, fuck. The light from the stand cut out and the room went totally dark. Did the wheelchair just move? Whoa. I stepped backwards. Ah! Nami tugged at my clothes. Oh shit, the squeaking of the wheelchair was coming closer and in my ears. My hands trembled, and I wasn't able to open the door. Hurry! Hurry up and open it! We practically fell over ourselves to escape into the hallway, but it was pitch black outside the room too. I couldn't tell left from right. Nami! Where's my flashlight? How would I know? I can't remember. Was there anything else that we could use as a light source? We should search for my flashlight for starters. Maybe here's a lighter in my pocket. Well, let's just fucking use the lighter. Yeah, I could use the lighter in my pocket. I caught a glimpse of the staircase just a short distance away. There! We headed downstairs in a panic. The flashlight had been dropped right in front of the aquarium. Now it's hot. I couldn't hold on to the lighter anymore. I let go of it completely and fumbled around with my hands till I picked up the flashlight. I turned it on and pointed it at the second floor. I could see its hazy circle of light illuminate the second floor passage. There was no trace of the mummy. I can't. My legs. Nami collapsed onto the ground helplessly. I sat down beside her. I couldn't believe it, though. A mummy? Here in modern-day Japan? We're in Japan. Were we just seeing things? I didn't want to scare Nami, so I decided to go check out the mummy by myself. I was scared, so I asked Nami to go and check for me. We gotta be a man, guys. We gotta be a guy, mans. I didn't want to scare Nami, so I decided to go check out the mummy by myself. Where are you going? Nami called out to me from behind. I'm going to go and find out whether or not the mummy was real. Who cares if it was real? Let's just stop. Nami was terrified. But I'm curious. And Nami, you're scared too. We need to find out the truth. We just might have mistaken it for something it wasn't. That's true, but still. I'll be right back. I walked over to the staircase. Wait. Don't leave me alone here. I'll go too. We returned to the door of the room we had entered before. The door had been left open. I timidly took a peek inside, but only saw the electric stand on the ground. There was no trace of the mummy. How strange. Ah, it's on. The light was back on. The small stand was lit again, as well as the chandelier in the hallway. Oh, a cat. A black cat had come out of from under the table. Here, kitty, kitty. Nami crouched down and picked it up. How strange. I looked around the room. Were we just seeing things? You saw it too, Nami, right? She didn't reply. She was entirely focused on the cat, as she should be. I picked up the book, which had fallen on the floor. I opened it up. It was a diary. The entry I saw was dated 6 years ago. While flipping through the pages, I suddenly found a page that was bright red. It's blood. Huh? There was nothing written on the page, and a Famicom had been stuck there as a bookmark. It was covered in a blackish red liquid, and it's still fresh. Upon seeing the diary, Nami started to look a little green, the opposite of red. Could this be the mummy's blood? We shouldn't be looking at someone else's diary. I closed it right away. We shouldn't be looking at someone else's diary. I closed it right away. Something must have happened here. Let's leave. We headed out into the hallway. The suit of armor. No. The suit of armor that had disappeared earlier was now standing in our way. Run, I shouted as I ran. Stay with me. I felt Nami growing impatient with me as we ran. Stay with me. I felt Nami growing impatient with me as we ran. I'm easily affected by the people I'm with, so I found myself in a race with Nami. We finally made it to the entrance. The door's gone. The huge door from before was missing. In its place was just a wall. What's going on here? There used to be a door here, right? Maybe we were mistaken. Maybe we got a little hasty and just happened to enter a room that only looked like the entrance hall. We might be in an entirely different area of the mansion. The mansion was huge, so it wasn't out of the question. Anyway, we've got to get out of here now. The window. The window. Oh. We just stood there powerless. It was like the mansion could read our minds. Every single window had been closed up and shuttered. It's like the mansion ate us alive. That's when I said, I'm not gonna let myself be eaten so easily. Don't say that, you're scared. This is better. I'm not gonna let myself be eaten so easily. I was ready to take the offensive. Time to start exploring. Exploring? The mansion doesn't want us to leave, apparently. We might as well check the place out. I'm gonna examine every single nook and cranny, even if I don't want to. You look cooler when you're angry, Mitsu. I know, right? I know. Why even bother telling me that? It's not like I can be angry 24/7. Unless you want me to. Over there. There was light peeking out from behind the gaps of the door that Nami was pointing at. Someone's gonna be in there this time, yeah? I placed my hand on the doorknob. Wait. Nami politely knocked on the door, but there wasn't any response. Are they out, I wonder? Well, I'm opening it up anyway. I pulled the door open. Oh, fuck. Whoa. I was taken aback by what I saw. It's a gathering of fiery souls, like spirits. My response was, let's get out of here. It's just some burning phosphorus, that's all. I mean, I don't want to leave, but it's not just burning phosphorus. I guess me being dumb and naive is better than just saying, let's leave and try to leave. It's just some burning phosphorus, that's all. Huh? Appropriate response. Really? Yeah, really. I know my stuff when it comes to science. That's a great quote. Y'all quote it. Despite saying that, I trembled as I opened the next door. Fuck, it's a cat. Ah! What's the big deal? It's a cat. Yeah, it is a cat, but the cat's eyes glowed in the darkness, floating through the air, even higher up than my own eyes. Well, that makes sense that they are glowing in the dark. The fact that they're up above your own eyes is a little... That one's out of the ordinary. Turn the lights on. Nami looked around for the light switch and flipped the lights on. It's a bat! Whoa! Ah! The cat turned into a bat. Nami was scared. Then I said... No, wait, both a bat and a cat were there. That's all there is to it. The bat probably just carried the cat away somewhere. It sounds stupid. This sounding naive is, I guess, better than sounding stupid, right? No way, both a bat and a cat were there. That's all there is to it. Plus, they're only one letter different from one another. It just makes the most sense. Yeah, that's gotta be it. We returned to the entrance hall. We were shocked at what we found. Huh? There was a phone here. It was an old black phone with the suit of armor used to be. We stared at the phone as it continued to ring. What should we do? I don't think we should just leave it unanswered. Right? But... okay. I pulled the phone over to me. Mitsu! Nami shouted. She lifted up the cord. The tip of it was melting and turning into smoke that drifted into the air. It's still ringing? I thought it must be some sort of trick phone. I couldn't hold my hand back and reach for the receiver on his own. I thought the ringing sounded like somebody screaming. It doesn't. Must be some sort of trick phone. I picked up the receiver. Hello? I shouted. Hello? I could hear a woman breathing. What? Huh? I almost dropped the phone. Hello? Hey. Can you tell me why? 'Cause it ain't nothing but a heartache. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Her voice sounded low and resentful. Whoa! I hung up the phone. It was a woman? Yeah. At that moment, I heard a sound from the upstairs. Hey, what was that just now? I said, I knew that somebody must be here. Probably not a mouse. I mean... I knew it. Somebody must be here. Uh-oh. Alright, let's go and see. A single door had been left ajar. A light was poking through it. There! We stood up really straight after we entered the room and saw what was on the wall. There was a creepy-looking stain on the wall. It looks like it's shaped. It looks like it's shaped like a person. This stain is for me. It was made for me. Stain looked like it could either have been either a man or a woman, and in the place where its hands were hypericums growing. There are hypericums here too, in a place like this. The hypericums had broken through the wall. I had just remembered something rather unpleasant. What's wrong? I remembered the meaning of hypericums. Okay, what is it? Brother cut flowers. Revenge. Seeing the splotch in the shape of a person there, holding up hypericums. It looked like the work of some vengeful ghost, vowing to get its revenge. How scary. My reaction was... I wonder if there's anybody inside of the wall. I muttered to myself and then shuddered, or... There's nothing to worry about, and left it at that. Let's do the more interesting one, even if it might be too scary. I wonder if there's anybody inside of the wall, I muttered to myself, and then I shuddered. We checked out the second floor just to be on the safe side. Aside from the door we couldn't open, with straw dolls nailed into the door, we hadn't found any traces of anybody in the house, including in the mummy's room. So there's nobody on the second floor now, right? Nami nodded. At the very least, we can say that we couldn't find any people, the mummy, or the suit of armor. I decided not to dwell on that. Alright, we should try to get this seemingly unopened door open. I started to examine the door. Hey, let's head back down, Nami said out of the blue. Huh? I'm hungry. You are too, aren't you, Mitsu? We really do need to get something to eat, you know. I looked at Nami's face, my mind a blank. Nami's not acting like herself. She wouldn't just go and take food from a stranger's kitchen. Was she saying this because she was afraid, or was it something else? Hey, Nami, what did I tell you? Nami laughed. I know you're hungry by the look of your face. No... What's that sound? No, I wouldn't say that. Oh, it was the stomach. But my stomach was weak to the power of persuasion, and it responded appropriately. I'll go on ahead, Nami said as she turned her back to me. Wait up. Hey, don't go get a head start on me like that. I figured I'd go along with Nami for the time being. As I headed with Nami to the dining room, I thought that they'd have something good to eat for sure, or hoped that they would have something good to eat, and forced myself to believe that. Well, it's a mansion in the middle of nowhere with demon monsters and seemingly nobody around. There's probably no actual good food, so I'm going to be hopeful. We set our eyes on the large refrigerator just beyond the dining room. I carefully tried opening it up. Whoa! Nami sounded happy. There was raw fish inside. I found 2 sweet fish on a large plate. Maybe they caught these in a nearby river. It seemed like these were just caught. But maybe we should find the people who own this place before we eat their stuff? We can just blame it on the cat if need be. Yeah, he can eat 2 full-size fish that are his size or larger. I'll have to try meowing like a cat while I eat in that case. These actually taste better if you grill them right beside the river, though. We'll have to settle for the oven. I'll handle the cooking. Nami took out a plate. Whoa, what's that? Nami screamed as the plate fell from her hands. Huh? What? The 2 fish that had fallen onto the floor were all dried up. Were they dried up from the start? Yeah. Up until now, they looked like they were freshly caught, though. Those fish, so brown and dried out. Seeing them remind me of the mummy. Now that I think about it, dried fish are kind of like fish mummies. Remind me of the mummy. A scream. What? What did that sound like to you? A woman. Screaming. We need to go look for her. Judging by the look in Nami's eyes, no further explanation was necessary. Let's go. We headed in the direction that it sounded like the scream had come from. There was a line of 3 doors with the same graphics as before. That way, Nami said. No, this way. I pointed to a different door. Fine. I'll look over that way, though. Hold on a second. We shouldn't split up. Excuse me. I opened the door that Nami was talking about. We don't need to split up. I opened the door that Nami was talking about. It was an oddly constructed room. The inside looked just like the hallway. And beyond that was the way out. There was a glass door, and it was blowing back and forth in the wind. Oh. It wasn't a scream after all. It was just the sound of a door, huh? I mean, let's get out that way, I said. The mountain road at night won't be much fun, but I'm sure it'll be beat being in this weird mansion. The glass door opened up, revealing the way out. The rain and wind were even stronger than I had expected. No, it's pitch black outside. You can see a little bit, though. See? There was something with a color that was out of this world right before our eyes. It was some sort of insectivorous plant. And it was about as tall as me, sitting there, blocking the way out. Ah! Right when we tried to slip past the strange-looking plant, it spit something out at us. Yuck! The 2 of us got the plant's sticky sap on our face and hands. What is this stuff? It must be it's sap. What kind of plant has sap that stinks as bad as this? Nami looked like she was on the verge of tears. The sap was really sticky, and it smelled disgusting. Hey, this isn't going to make our faces rot or anything, is it? It could be. Haha. Yeah, right. But I can feel it stinging my face, now that she mentioned it. I could feel it stinging, too. It's, just your imagination. No. Come on, we've got to get this washed off quickly. We rushed over to the bathroom. And then I wanted to hurry and get Nami clean. I felt like taking a nice leisurely bath. Let's probably get this stuff off as fast as possible. I wanted to hurry up and get Nami clean. The bathroom was thick with some sort of white steam, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was. Hold on, Nami. Okay. Nami entered quickly. As Nami started to wash her face, the white steam got sucked into her reflection in the mirror and vanished. I was stunned into silence. I couldn't believe my eyes, but Nami seemed to be totally unfazed. Her reflection smiled at me from the mirror. She didn't seem to have noticed what just happened. You should get washed up too, Mitsu. Your face might rot off if you don't. Thanks. I'll just wash my face then, for starters. Flustered, I changed places with Nami and started washing my face. I felt sort of like I was being watched, so I looked up. Nami's reflection was looking at me, and her eyes had an otherworldly light to them. I knew something was off, so I turned around in a panic. Wondered what had happened, so I asked Nami about it. I turned around in a panic. I knew something was way off, so I turned around in a panic. What are you making that face for? Nami laughed, looking as nice as ever. Oh, well, I couldn't tell Nami that her face had just looked like a demon that no man would ever touch. I looked back at the mirror. Nami's reflection was still glaring at me, and now the usual Nami with her happy face was there as well. Nami! I turned around. What are you shouting for? Nami was laughing. Nami! The mirror! Is something wrong with the mirror? Now Nami and I were the only ones reflected in the mirror. Oh, I just wanted to know if you saw this beautiful girl that I just saw in it. I saw a sliding glass door further in. Nami, let's get out of here. I pulled open the sliding door. Of course it was a fucking shower. Beyond the door was a stylish and spacious bath and shower room. Oh, the bathtub's here, huh? Let's leave. I turned back to Nami. We might as well take a shower, I said, looking over at the shower. Chat, do we take the shower? Let's not be rude. Well, the bathtub's here, huh? Let's leave. Send time. Maybe this is a bad time to ask this, but... Huh? Let's take a shower, okay? Oh, she fucking... Alright. That's the same thing, Catsy. I'll make it quick. Just stand guard out there. Oh, sexy time. Well, unfortunately, it sounds like she wants to shower by herself. Out there. I should have known. Okay. I'll be right back with our change of clothes. I rushed back to the entrance hall and brought back our bag from there. I spoke up by the sliding door. Anything weird happened while I was gone? No problems here. Oh man, I imagined Nami's potty, and I figured there were no problems there either. I continued imagining what Nami looked like naked. I thought this was a horror game. Ah! That startled me. It was the scream of a butt-naked Nami. Okay. What's wrong? I was about to jump in there, but Nami jumped out first. It suddenly got so hot. She was totally covered in by a bath towel. Seems like the shower wasn't working right. There was steam everywhere, and hot water was spraying out. It almost looked like the shower itself was anky. Ooh-wah! Hot, 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 hot. I couldn't even bring myself to get close enough to adjust the temperature. They should have a boiler in the basement. I'll go look for it. Slow fade. After heading down the stairs, I found the boiler room. There was a round boiler that seemed like it could start spitting out fire at any second. I turned the spigot this way and that. It seemed to calm the boiler down. Everything should be fine now. The temperature was set to 100 degrees Celsius. That's 212 degrees Fahrenheit, you dirty American. Who could have done this? I suddenly became worried about Nami. Nami? Nami! Hope she's okay all by herself. In a panic, I vowed to never leave Nami alone again as I ran to her, or I set aside my worries and ran as fast as I could. I set aside my worries and ran as fast as I could. Nami! Nami had already finished changing clothes, and she was combing her wet hair. Thanks. The water went back to normal. That's good. You found out what was the problem? Yeah, the boiler's not going to last much longer. Anyway, I'm not going to take a shower. Okay, I'll be right outside. Be careful out there, and don't go anywhere. If anything happens, come right in. Yes, sir. I had said that as a joke, but Nami nodded as if she was totally serious. Nami had been taking a shower in here until just only a moment ago. No, I had to open my eyes. I had to scrub myself clean, starting with my head. I could hear laughter behind me. Huh? I turned around, surprised. In the big tub behind me, two little girls had been playing? They suddenly stopped laughing and looked over at me. Oh, fuck. The two of them looked like they were about 4 or 5 years old. Are the two of you twins? The twin girls got out of the water and ran away. Bro, what? Hey. Huh? The tile floor was totally dry. And the sliding door wouldn't open. At that moment, I got the chills with the twin girls' ghosts. I looked around for another way out. Let's get out of the ghost shower. I looked around for another way out. It was no good. The room was totally sealed off. Nami, open the door. My breath came out white as I screamed. Ah! I started to shiver, and the bottom of my feet were in pain. I wasn't sure why, but the tile had turned as cold as ice. Well, what's going on in here? I tried getting the shower to put out more hot water, but it just formed icicles. I'm gonna freeze in here, Nami. I tried to ram into the sliding door, but I slipped and fell onto my back. Oh, fuck. Then the suit of armor appeared out of nowhere. You're here? Where did you come from? I ran from it naked, but it quickly chased me down the other side of the wall. Sliding door wouldn't open. Bro, Nami wasn't coming to save me. I was in big trouble. The suit of armor came right up to me and then heaved its sword into the air. I only had one shot at this. It brought down its sword. I dodged the sword by a hair's breadth. And he broke the door. The sliding glass door got shattered. I dove through the hole without missing a beat. Whoa. Nami! I fumbled with my change of clothes and jumped out into the hallway. Nami wasn't there. Oh, fuck. We're screwed. I was worried that something might have happened to her. I was worried that Nami left without me. I was worried that something might have happened to her. Nami. Nami! I tried shouting to her, but she didn't reply. I saw the figure of someone in the hallway. It was a woman. She was wearing a white dress that was fluttering in the wind. It was Nami. When did she put on that dress? Nami? I ran after her, but then she started to float. She continued to stare straight at me as she floated up until she seemed to get swallowed by the ceiling and vanished. Spoiler alert, Nami was dead the whole time? Did we die in the car crash or some shit? I just stood there in a daze. Was I imagining that, or was it a ghost that just happened to look exactly like Nami? Oh, you eyes. A pair of eyes flashed at me in the darkness, and I could hear laughter echoing around me. After that, only the wind was blowing. This is pretty good sound design for a Super Nintendo game, if you guys can hear this. What in the world was going on with Nami? I'm not sure why, but I was afraid to start looking for her. I have to find her no matter what, I thought to myself. I have to find her no matter what, I thought to myself. I relied on my intuition. Where was Nami? I did make that joke at the beginning of the game. This was the room. I was sure of it. Nami was sitting in the corner of the room holding her knees. Nami? Mitsu? Nami was crying. What happened, Nami? I told you not to go anywhere. Don't run off like that. Mitsu. How did I get here? Why are you asking me? You don't know? Nami gulped like a child. I was drying my hair when I suddenly felt a man's arm around me. I don't know what happened after that. Nami looked cold. She was shivering. Don't worry, I'm here with you. I put my arm around Nami's shoulder, then someone else is here, just as I thought. I felt a chill run down my spine. I'm here with you. Look at this room, Mitsu. Oh, fuck. It's the little girls, maybe? I looked around the room. There were all sorts of toys. They all seemed to be toys for girls from about 15 years ago. Oh? So this was a kid's room. It all brings back memories, Nami said. Yeah, it does for me too. The girls in my neighborhood all had toys like these. No, I didn't mean it that way. Huh? It's not just the toys that bring back memories. It's this room, too. What a weird thing for Nami to say. Hey, I wonder why everyone's in sets of 2. Everything's in sets of 2. There were 2 of everything. 2 babies, each with a milk bottle. 2 playing house sets. 2 chairs, so on. They must have had 2 girls. Nami picked up a monkey toy. Ah! Nami screamed in terror. The monkey toy bored its teeth and angrily struck its cymbals. Just throw it away if you don't like it. Take it from me. I can't get it out of my hands. What? I plucked the annoying little monkey out of Nami's hands and smacked it. Stop being a damn monkey. Let's get out of this lousy mansion. So I led Nami out of the mansion. Felt like we were being watched. These don't seem like they fit. A lot of the choices don't seem like they fit with each other. Felt like we were being watched, or I became curious about what sort of sisters had lived here. Felt like we were being watched. Felt like we were being watched. Let's hurry, Nami. Nami suddenly stopped in her tracks. There are old lines comparing heights carved into the thick pillar that stuck out of the stucco wall. Judging by the height, that must have been they must have been 3 or 4 years old. Next to the lines, names were etched next to the lines. Nami and Naomi. You lived here. It's my name. Hey, cut it out, Nami. You make it sound so weird. I compared my height here with another girl. Hey. I chided her, feeling frustrated. There are plenty of other people named Nami. Don't get any funny ideas just because this girl has the same name as you. Right. You're right. Nami's expression returned to normal. This Nami is probably older by now, right? Oh. Oh. A crack ran up the pillar before my very eyes. It was still moving up. When it reached about where my eyes are, it formed a new height line. That new line was Nami's height now. How could it be? I wondered who Naomi was. I thought about why Nami's name would be here. I thought about why Naomi... There's a sound effect, guys. That sound. Nami clung onto my arm. It's coming from that painting. I'm live now. It sounded like it was coming from the large oil painting that was hung up in the hallway. This was gonna be a short game, Ivan, so I just wait a little bit longer. The sound stopped coming out of the painting after we came up to it. It's kind of a creepy painting. It seemed like an occultish painting of some sort. So you better be listening to this with some headphones. It had a dark and devilish touch to it. There were 2 girls fighting over a sword, and an older woman there who seemed like their mother. Judging by the way they were dressed, they were from medieval Europe. At the borders of the painting were hypericums twisted into strange shapes. You know, they're everywhere in this game. Hypericums. These girls have the exact same face. Maybe they're twins? I was just saying whatever popped in my head, but it seemed like Nami's blood froze. Twins? Huh? I was a twin. Don't say that, Nami. That's just dumb. She could be, dude. You don't know her family, do you? I laughed. You're an only child, Nami. What are you talking about being a twin for? Oh. Yeah, you're right. Nami was really confused and dumb. But when I see this painting with these twins, I just... Oh, I don't know anymore. At that moment... Nami, get away from the painting. I pulled her away from it. Or, I feel like this thing's got a hex upon it. I stared at the painting like it was about to swallow me up. Get away from the painting! I pulled her away from it. Ah! Nami gasped. There was a lady in white standing in the darkness. Oh, it's her twin that looks like her? Her face was hidden by her long hair. She slowly approached us. The lady gave Nami something, and then a soundless wind blew her hair back. Oh. The lady was Nami. And then she vanished. I'm pissing myself, guys. This is so scary. What she had left Nami in Nami's hand was a bloody knife. Oh fuck. Ah, Nami threw down the knife. Nami. I hugged Nami by the shoulders. I would protect her. No matter what, I would protect. I vowed that as I held her tightly. What's that sound? Startled, Nami focused on listening to the sound. Let me turn it up in my ears so I can listen to it. I don't hear nothing. I can't hear anything, Nami. Ah! She covered her face with her hands and crouched down. Mom's screaming. Mom's what now? What are you talking about, Nami? My mom. I'm talking about my mom. Her hair was messed up and her voice was thick with tears. I can hear her screams in my head. All of her screams. Back when we stabbed her in the stomach with that knife. What the fuck? We stabbed your mom with a knife? Stop it. That's insane, Nami. No. It wasn't a knife. It was a sword. Ah! Nami suddenly shrieked. I remember. Nami didn't look like her usual self. I was born and raised here. Nami, calm down. I know you've been through a lot today. Your nerves have got to be shot. But if you take a second and think about it with a clear head, you'll realize that none of what you're saying makes any sense. But... Nami shouted as she cried. My real mom was here. I had a twin sister named Naomi too. The two of us compared our heights here. I remember it. Now, is it going to be, don't give me that nonsense, your mom's waiting at home for you now, you know. We just needed to get out of the mansion, or, Naomi, you weren't only tried. I tried to calm her down. Don't give me that nonsense. We just need, oh fuck. Nami, let's get out of here, through the window. No! Nami stood up. This is my house, after all. Nami, you need to chill out. You're fucking crazy, dog. What about your mom and dad in Tokyo right now? Your mom told me she named you after your birthday. Mika. Nagatsumika. Which is what? July 3rd. Oh. She's the one who named you, Nami. What do you have to say about that? She just made that story up. Oh, excuse me. Nami cried. She took me in after I left this place. Yeah, the memories are coming back to me now. More of them. They're clearer than before. I'm telling you, those are all just a bunch of... I know how dangerous it is for you to stay here any longer. You have to get out of here. Alone, Mitsu. Nami? Go. There's something in my past that I'm starting to remember, and I don't want to have to tell you what it is. I like killing people. So what about your past? I shouted. If it's your past, it's my past. And then I wanted to wrap all of the pain that Nami was feeling. I thought about what I could say that might convince Nami. The breeze will calm you down. If anything happens, shout out for me, and I'll come. And if anything comes in here, get out. What are you going to do, Mitsu? I'm going to investigate. We know at the very least that there was a mummy in this mansion. There was a suit of armor, and there's somebody who made it disappear. I'm going to find out who that person is. No, Mitsu. I'm going. You can't. Please, let me go. Nami shook me off and left the room. I ran after Nami as fast as I could, shouting, You're putting yourself in danger. Get back here. I'm the only one who you can trust right now. You're putting yourself in danger. Get back here. I turned down the corner of the hallway, but Nami was already gone. I started searching around for her frantically. Are you there, Nami? Knock, knock. I headed into the room. Nami wasn't there, but I did come across something strange. It was a miniature landscape. It was modeled after a mountain with a winding road, and there was a miniature car that had crashed on it. That's our car. You've got to be kidding me. I took a closer look at the miniature landscape, and it was in fact a replica of the road we'd been driving on. The car was positioned right where we had trouble with the brakes. Was this some kind of setup? Did somebody lure us here to this spot? Every time I hear any sounds, oh fuck. Just as I mulled over the possibility, I could hear Nami scream, "Mitsu! Come here!" I ran straight to her. Nami! Worried about Nami, I shouted out to her while I ran. My bad premonition made it hard to breathe as I ran. Well, I don't want to keep putting myself in negative situations, so I'm going to say the A. Worried about Nami, I shouted out to her while I ran. Dictionary. Nami was just standing there in a daze. Mitsu, look. Dictionaries. Nami said as she handed me something. It was actually 2 diaries written by a mother. There was a diary with Nami's name and another with Naomi's name. These diaries prove that I was her child. These prove that Naomi and I were her children. It could just be somebody else with your same name. I said it already. Ahaha. I laughed, though I had no reason to. Just because it has your name, Nami, that doesn't mean it's about you, does it? Even if it has this, Naomi showed me a page that had her date of birth written on it. Even the blood type is the same. This is me. My mom wrote these diaries about me and Naomi. Nami covered her face with her hands and flew out of the room. Nami, wait. Don't follow me. Nami looked back at me with tears in her eyes. I've let somebody die. Even if I haven't, I'm about to let somebody die. That's ridiculous. I'm gonna die. Oh, I can see their blood on my hands. These are the hands of a killer. I wouldn't let you kill anybody. Me too. Listen to me, Nami. You're the one who needs to listen, Mitsu. Nami shouted. I might end up killing you. Nami cried and vanished into the darkness of the hallway. Nami? Our relationship is going to be done for at this rate. Excuse me. It's a bad time to yawn. I reflected on the situation. I had to get those thoughts out of Nami's head. I may be able to change her mind, but I may not be able to change her mind, but I can still help her. I may not be able to change her mind, but I can still help her. Oh, where the fuck are we now? I found Nami. It was nighttime, but heat waves were moving through the courtyard, and she was standing in the middle of the scene. Many twin girls were crying in front of a blood-stained sword. Many? Nami? I shouted. Don't come any closer, Mitsu. These are all of the girls who couldn't pass away after they killed their mom. What's the deal with this part of the world and children killing their moms? Nami cried and shouted. Just like my sister. The ghosts of the twin girls vanished with a gust of wind. Nami, I shouted without thinking. Just like the other girls, Nami vanished. Oh, goddamn. It was like she melted into the darkness. Nami! Bro, she's dead. I trembled just like Nami did when she went crazy. Then I found where she was. Nami stood there like she'd been frozen in place. Mitsu. Nami. I tried to walk up to her, but even though she was just standing in place, she began to float up into the air. Nami! I tried to run over, but something white appeared before me. We killed her. It was another Nami. It was Naomi. You're Naomi? Naomi looked up at Nami and said, We killed our mom. What? Nami, we killed our mom. And then Nami responded in a daze. We killed our mom. Stop it, Nami, I yelled at her, shocked. It's true, Nami. We killed our mom. Hey, stop it. I tried to grab Naomi. Whoa! My hand passed right through her. Nami, you must be punished too. Mom is waiting for you. Naomi vanished and Nami fell unconscious. Nami, I picked up Nami and hugged her. Nami looked at me in a daze. I didn't kill her, did I? I didn't kill my mom, right? Well, the ghost said you did, and what other evidence do we have that that's not true? Nami had finally lost it. Of course you didn't, Nami. Get those stupid thoughts out of your stupid head. Stupid. Believe in yourself. Nami's eyes darted about as if she was doubtful. I didn't kill her, right? Nami. I grabbed a hold of Nami's shoulders. Let's assume it's all true, and you left this mansion when you were little, and you just forgot all about it until today. That means you haven't seen your mom in a decade. When could you have killed your mom? Right. You're right, Nami said, still in a daze. I was sent away from this house, wasn't I? My mom abandoned me. Why was I the only one she abandoned, though? Don't be stupid. Save it for later. We just don't have to worry about it at all. But she did throw me out. Everything started shaking, and Nami was screaming hysterically like she'd gone out of her mind. Why didn't she raise me? The mansion shook. Holy fuck. Nah. Nami. Startled eyes looked straight at Nami. Nami was moving away from me. It was like some unseen force was pulling her, but she didn't scream, not even once. If anything, the look on her face was that of a child being confronted by a doting mother. Nami, where are you going? I chased after Nami, but she disappeared into the darkness down the hallway. Nami! There was no sign of her. The mansion had stopped shaking. I spotted a door that had been opened just a crack. I tried peeking in. I forced the door open. I tried peeking in. Nami was on the other end of the room, crouched down by a window. Nami? I tried to enter the room in a way that wouldn't alarm her. Whoa. When she stood up and turned to face me, I saw that Nami had something shiny in her hand. It was a sword. I was shocked to see that it was a sword. Nami? This is it. This is the sword we used to kill our mom. Nami, what are you saying? We stabbed her. Nami and I. We stabbed our mom. Nami, you've been possessed by some sort of stupid fantasy. Now throw that sword away. I must be punished, just as my mom was, when she became that mummy. Don't be stupid. Get real. Get real, you loser. I struck Nami. The sword fell down at my feet. Nami, you can't just go around casually saying you killed someone or stabbed someone. Unless you were cool, then you could. Look at how many there are. Nami suddenly pointed out the window. She was pointing it to the garden in the back of the house. There was a row of graves. So many graves. The row was lined with a pair of graves. They're the graves of twins. That's right. The graves of twins who killed their mother and were punished for it. I didn't realize exactly when she'd arrived, but Naomi was standing there with us. That is the curse of this estate, the curse of this mansion that was brought here from the west, the curse that makes twins kill their parents. What a weird, specific curse. Her voice was cold. On our 7th birthday, we stabbed our mom with this sword. The sword on the floor rose up and flew through the air and fell into the palm of Naomi's hands. I've already received my punishment. You need to hurry and be punished too, or the curse will mummify you. Oh. Nami and I shouted at the same time. Oh. The sword gleamed. In the light, we could see a scene of 7-year-old twin sisters stabbing their mom with the sword. What a vision. The sword vanished, along with Naomi. Nami was looking totally pale. That was me. We killed our mom. Stop it, Nami. I have to hurry and receive my punishment from my mom. Nami started walking faster. Don't go, Nami. I clung to Nami to stop her. Alright, then I'm going to. I decided to go with Nami. Don't go, Nami. No, I don't want to be mummified, Nami screamed. Don't be stupid. The punishments Naomi was talking about just means you'll be killed. But I killed my mom. Nami screamed and fled into the next room. Nami. I ran after her immediately. Candles. It was a strange room. On the other side of the room, there was a tiled wall depicting Mother Mary with her child. Nami stood in the center of the room. This is it. This is the prayer room. I noticed 2 worn-out spots on the carpet, as if someone had often kneeled there. These spots were left by people praying. Many generations of people kneeled there in prayer. I'm sure that my mom was one of them. Nami kneeled on that spot and positioned herself to pray. At that very instant, the air in the room changed. I could hear children crying. Their voices seemed to come from the walls. Look at this. There was an old newspaper stuck on the wall with a pin. It's a really crappy looking newspaper graphic. The clipping was from 1869, right after the start of the Meiji era. The font used in the article was unique to that era. The font. Mother's Twin Killings was the title of the article. It was about the unexplained murder that occurred in the mansion that had been deconstructed in the West, carried over, and reconstructed. What? Did they do that? The article stated that there was an ominous legend concerning the estate even before it was reconstructed here in Japan. Any mother who lives there always gives birth to twins, and she always ends up killing them due to a curse. Oh. It was actually the other way around, I shouted. Naomi was lying. It was actually the mom who was cursed to kill her twins. The air in the room started to shake again. The children began to weep silently. They seemed to be trying to tell me that what I was thinking was correct. The diary. We should be able to find out more from it. We need to find her mom's diary. We headed to the mummy's room. The mummy wasn't there, but the diary had been left on the table. Oh. The pages flipped open as I approached it. July 3rd. I gave birth to twins. That's where the diary started. July 4th. America's Independence Day. My children are so cute. Will the curse start up soon, though? July 5th. My right hand moved to kill my children. I need my husband to tie me down. July 6th. My husband suddenly passed away. The house was like, fuck you, that's gonna happen. Perhaps the curse is to blame for this, too. According to the diary, the mother was doing everything in her power to fight back against the curse and raise her daughters alone, despite all of the problems she was having. July 3rd of next year. It's their 3rd birthday. They're growing strong, but I am not sure how long I could hold myself back from succumbing to the curse. July 7th. Oh, my hand moved to kill my children again. Nami screamed, asking why her mother didn't just leave the mansion. The diary answered her question. Mothers had tried to escape from the mansion with their twin children before. Every one of them had died in a horrible death. July 10th. I tried to kill them again, while the 2 of them were comparing their heights. July 15th. I can't raise them myself any longer. I'll send the 2 of them to an orphanage while I remain here. This way, we can beat this curse. Goodbye, Naomi. Nami. My mom was trying to save me. Yeah. Parts of the ink had become blotted. The ink must have been blotted by her tears. Nami hugged the diary. I keep mixing them up. But still she had questions. Why did Mom get mummified, though? Because she defied the curse, I guess? And what about my sister? That's right. Why did Naomi die? She should have been sent to an orphanage just like Nami was, to get around the curse. Suddenly, I could hear Naomi's laughter. I'm gonna throw up. I'm so scared I'm gonna throw up. Naomi, stop. Don't get to her, Nami. Don't go to her, Nami. Let me go. I need to find out for myself. Nami shook me away and ran out of the room. Oh, and then a sword appeared. As I tried to move forward, a sword slashed down right before my eyes. I wasn't sure what to do about the sword. Don't mess with me. I pulled out the sword and heaved it into a wall. I'd be able to use this. I took the sword and chased after Nami. I don't know if that's a good idea, but do I take the sword? I'm going to take the sword. I might be able to use this. I took the sword and chased after Nami. I'm going to end up... That was going to be a bad decision. Wait, Nami. Nami looked at me with terror in her eyes. Mitsu, what are you doing? Nami barely dodged as I made a hole in the wall with a sword. Mitsu, stop! Run, Nami! I shouted as I went after her, swinging the sword. Oops. My own body was trying to kill Nami. Help! Mitsu, forgive me! Damn it! At this rate, I was going to cut Nami down. Run away, Nami, wait! I shouted, though what I said didn't make any sense. Run away, Nami, wait. Because it's possessing me. Then suddenly another sword appeared in the air. The sword in the air came slashing down at me. Oh, shit! I was fighting against the same sword as I was holding. Oh, shit! If I didn't take this thing down, it was going to kill me. Mitsu, help me! Naomi's voice startled me, and I took another look at what was going on. What I'd been slashing at was Nami. I'd been trying to kill Nami. I never expected that I would be the one to kill Nami. No, I hold the sword aside. Nami, I barely managed to stop my hand. No, I hurled the sword aside. The sword fell to the floor, but then a cobra rose, lifting up its head. What the fuck? But then the sword flew through straight from left to right before my very eyes. The sword, unheld by anyone, swung around. Ah, Mitsu! I could hear Nami scream from far away, and then my vision went black. I got cutted. I was enveloped by a silent darkness, and then it gradually lifted. I was in that mummy's room. A woman was sitting in the wheelchair right in front of me. She was a classy-looking lady and very beautiful. I could tell at first glance that she was Naomi's mom. What was going on here? Nami's mom was knitting something. What's happening? Then I understood what was going on. This was Nami's mom before she became a mummy. But why was I seeing this? Oh. Nami's mom didn't even seem to notice that I was there. I'm a wall. What? Suddenly, I realized that I'd been turned into one of the walls of this room. What? Nami's mom continued knitting. All I could do as a wall was sit there and watch her. It appeared to be raining outside. I could hear footsteps in the hallway, and then the door opened. The person who came in was Naomi, soaking wet because of the rain. Mom, I wanted to see you again. It was a vision of the past. This was before Naomi died and before her mom got mummified. I was being shown this scene from the wall's perspective. You must leave, Naomi, her mom implored, looking pale. Go back this instant. You cannot be here. Why, Mom? Do you hate me? I walked all the way here in the rain. It took me an hour and a half to to walk all the way up that mountain path at night. Naomi's voice was racked with tears. Don't do this, Naomi. You mustn't. Your presence here will only summon forth the power of the curse. You're wrong. There is no curse, Mom. I just want to see you. Naomi kneeled before her mother's wheelchair. I heard everything, Mom. I know you sent us to the orphanage to protect us. I know you got yourself into that accident intentionally, crippling yourself to the point of being physically incapable of hurting us. Damn, Dawn. So I want to stay by your side, Mom. I want to be the one to take care of you now. Welcome home, Naomi. With that said, I do not wish to see you. Mom, I love you, Mom. Naomi took her mom's hand and cried. Naomi's mom shook off her hand, moved to the wheelchair to the door, and opened it. GTFO, Naomi. I never want to see your face again. Mom. Naomi's mom cast her out and shut the door. I understand, Mom, Naomi said on the other side of the door. I'll just stay here today in the room I stayed in when I was a kid. Just let me sleep here for one more night. That's all I ask. Her mom didn't respond. She only clenched the armrest of her wheelchair. Her whole body was trembling, like she was trying to hold something back. The curse. Then suddenly the scene changed. I had turned into a wall in Naomi's room. There was an old bed here, and the grown-up Naomi was sleeping in it. That's when the door opened. Her mom entered, sitting in the wheelchair. She moved the wheelchair forward and looked down at Naomi's sleeping face. She was clutching a sword in her right hand, and she raised it up. Oh no! I was screaming in my heart. It wasn't by her own will that she had raised the sword. Even as her body tried to bring the sword down, it wasn't her intent. It was the force of the curse upon this mention that moved her. Oh, I don't want to kill you. The mom spoke as if she could barely squeeze the words out. Naomi run, but whether it was from being tired, or by the long walk, or the nostalgic feelings of being back in her old bed, Nami was sleeping like a baby. Nami? Don't you mean Naomi? Naomi! Her mother screamed with the sword raised up in the air. She was fighting. The curse was trying to bring the sword down, but her mom was fighting not to do it. It must have taken every fiber of her being to retain control. Both of her hands trembled as they held the sword, and sweat poured down her brow. Her face was twisted with pain. It looked like she couldn't even speak anymore. She was biting her lips so hard that they were bleeding. She was giving everything she had to fight against the power of the curse. Finally, Naomi opened her eyes. Mom? To Naomi, in that moment, it must have looked like her mom was trying to kill her. Help! Naomi shouted as she ran out of the room. I could hear Naomi scream. The scene changed again. This time, I was a wall below the stairs. Naomi had fallen down the stairs, broken her neck, and oh. Our mother looked down from upstairs. Naomi? She screamed. Then somebody got up from Naomi's corpse. Huh? It was Naomi, but now she was a ghost. She floated in the air and stood next to her mom. I'm sorry, Mom. I died without you being able to kill me. But I swear I'll make it up to you, Naomi said. I'll call my sister Nami here, and when the two of us are together... Oh. She reached out holding the sword from earlier. I'll have you kill her with this sword. Oh, I couldn't. Her mother screamed. Naomi, you mustn't do such a thing. Her mom screamed in despair. I'm not going to kill anyone, even if the curse takes me for it. Tears began to pour from her mother's eyes. You're going to die then, biting your tongue. Wind blew through the mansion, and the sound of laughter echoed from nowhere in particular. She screamed. In the strong wind, her mom breathed out white smoke as she changed into nothing but skin and bones, and her hair turned white. Well, fuck, that was quick. Nami's mom had been transformed into a mummy, and then the scene went dark. Damn, son. I remained there, still in the darkness. Come on, Nami, let's go. I could hear Naomi's voice. Mom is waiting for us. Yes, Naomi, Nami replied. Naomi was going to lead Nami to the mummy. Don't go, Nami, I tried to say, but I was unable to speak, for I was a wall. It was pitch black all around me. We killed our mom, didn't we? Nami's voice faded away. She's wrong. You didn't do it, Nami. I struggled, but it was all for naught, for I was a wall. There in the darkness, I suddenly felt a disgusting presence. It was the spirit of the mansion. Even though I wasn't able to make a sound, I screamed in the only way that I could to a spirit. Damn you! You turned me into a wall! And now you're trying to kill Nami? Indeed I am. This spirit responded to me in much the same way in words without a voice. The twins that are born here will kill their mother. This is the curse that I have cast. Who in the hell are you? I am the original owner of this mansion. Oswell E. Spencer. The spirit replied. In the forest of Borgnon? Borgnon. I don't know how to say it, however I want. In the year 1800, I gave birth to twin princesses here in this mansion. Later on, I was stabbed to death by the two of them with my own sword. They killed me because they lusted over my position of authority as a mom. I was dead, and yet I wasn't dead, for I had placed a curse on this mansion and on this sword. A curse that would lead the twins to kill their mothers? That's right. I started with my two daughters. I had them each bear twins. Oh. Okay, so the curse... The original owner has cursed people who live here by making them... killing her kids, which in turn is making... They have to keep making kids kill the parent... Okay, I got it. That's right, I started with my own two daughters. I had them bear twins, and each pair of twins killed their mothers. You got your revenge then. So why does the curse still exist? Because greed and hatred still exist in the human heart. The same greed and hatred that my two daughters felt are what is keeping the curse alive. Shit, dog. The presence of the spirit was gone, and the darkness around me gradually became brighter. I was now a wall in the second floor hallway. Naomi was leading Nami as they walked to the other side. Each of them were holding a bouquet of hypericums, the revenge flower. The sealed door squeaked open. Nami and Naomi disappeared into that room. Was Nami going to be killed by her mom? The mummy in there? Nami. Nami. Nami! All I could do was keep shouting her name, in a voice that could not be heard, shedding tears of regret that could not fall, and sobbing with breaths I couldn't breathe, for I was a wall. And then... the wheelchair appeared. There was no mummy on it, just an empty wheelchair. It charged forward at me, but since I was a wall, there was no way for me to dodge it. Well, shit. The wheelchair got busted into pieces. Something strange had happened. I was now standing in front of the wall. Almost, Catsy, not quite. I wasn't a wall anymore. I was myself again. Somehow, the wheelchair breaking itself against me must have set me free, for some reason. Nami? I ran to the room that had been sealed off. Nami! The sealed room remained shut down tight, like it was before. I tried to force it open, but it wouldn't even budge. Open the door, Nami! I remembered what the wheelchair had done, and I slammed my body into the door as hard as I could. I got knocked back, but then the door suddenly became transparent. I could see into the room, and I could hear hear voices too. Nami and Naomi were kneeling there, The mummy was sitting on a large chair, right in front of the two of them. They seemed to have already started performing a ceremony. It is time. Let us receive our punishment from our mom, Naomi said. Right. The two of us killed our mom after all, Nami replied. The curse of the mansion must be what was making them kill her, just like the twin princesses who killed the queen. It's time, Mom. Naomi and Nami joined hands and said to their mom in unison, "Please punish us." And with that, the sword at her side began to glow. The sword emitted a low-frequency sound and began to float in the air, landing in the hand of the mummified mom. Oh shit. Their mom, the mummy, started to shake as if pressured by the sword. Oh, the mummy began to groan as it stood up, and Naomi and Nami bowed before her. The mummy slowly raised the sword into the air. Stop! Oh no! Nami's mom loved her daughters so much, but she wasn't going to beat that curse in the end, was she? Stop it! Please, stop! The mummy heaved the sword down. No. The mummy's hands were still frozen in the air. One force was trying to bring the sword all the way down, while another was fighting to keep it up. There, inside of the mummy's body, was a battle between the power of the curse and the power of love. I saw it then. Inside the hollow sockets of the mummy's eyes was blood. She was crying tears of blood. Nami! Cry out for your mom! I barely managed to get her to hear me. Look at her, Nami. Your mom is trying to save your life. Nami gasped and looked up at her mom. Mom? She could see her mom's bloody tears. Is this bloody tears playing in the background? Nope. Mom! The mummy still held the sword in place, trembling. I love you, Mom! Nami screamed with all her heart. At that moment, the mummy began shining and then burst into pieces. Oh god. It exploded. The transparent door was blown open. Nami! I ran over to her. Mitsu! Nami fell to the floor, turned into a shadow, and vanished. We need to run, Nami. Oh, Naomi. I led her out of there. But then a suit of armor appeared before us. Whoa! Look out, Mitsu. The suit of armor unsheathed its sword and came slashing at me, but I had no weapons or powers to use against it. I don't care what happens to me. I wrestled with the suit of armor, hoping to save Nami's life at the very least. But we're not gonna die just yet. Still holding on to each other, the two of us rammed into the suit of armor at full speed. I like that idea. The suit of armor wouldn't even budge. Ah! It flung its large arms around, coming for us. But something was off about it. The suit of armor started spewing some sort of yellow steam from its whole body as it took 2 or 3 more steps in our direction. Ah. Then the suit simply collapsed. The steam coming out of it changed to a bluish color. From the scattered pieces of the suit of armor, the green cat stepped out. Its eyes flashed at us, and then it disappeared. Good job, kitty. That green cat. Well, is that the physical manifestation of the curse? Oh. Where did that come from? Explosions started happening all over the place. Hurry. Explosions? Oh, shit! By the time we made it down the stairs, the entrance hall had erupted in flames. We'll go through the back. We'll go out the back. I grabbed Nami's arm and ran. Ah! A flaming pillar fell to the ground, separating us. Are you okay, Nami? The air was thick with black smoke and heat. It was hard to breathe. I couldn't even open my eyes. I can't take it anymore, Mitsu. I reached my hand out to her voice. Don't say that. We're gonna make it through this alive. For your mom's sake. For Naomi's too. Suddenly, at that moment, there was a bright light. Oh, it's too bright. It was a golden light, shining just beyond the flames and the smoke. I couldn't bring myself to open my eyes, but I could still see it somehow. I could believe in it. That way! I aimed for the light, holding on to I keep saying Naomi. Nami's hand as we ran. Oh! The air around us had suddenly changed. It seemed like we had made it out the back. We made it out, Nami. The boiler was about to explode. We had to get a little further away from the house, so we kept running. Damn, son. The wind struck my cheeks. I was finally able to open my eyes a little, although they still stung from all the smoke. I turned around to see how far we'd run from the mansion. It's fucking collapsing, dog. It's fallen apart. The house where I was born and raised. My sister's house, my mom's house. The wind was blowing. It was cold and refreshing. It made me think clearly again. And so I breathed the fresh air in deep. Nami, like me, was taking deep breaths of it. Far away from us, with its back to the darkness, was a blackened mountain of debris. My vision had become clear enough to see that the mansion had burned completely to the ground. If you hadn't pulled me along, Mitsu, I'm sure that Nami looked at me, and then she softly whispered, "Thank you." No, it wasn't me, I said. The light guided me. The light? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was your mom's light. Either hers or maybe my sister's, right? Yeah, somebody's light. We looked up at the night sky. It looked so beautiful. Oh, Nami said in a quiet voice. From the burning rubble, we could see something shining rise up to the heavens. There was two spirits. Mom, Naomi. What about all the other people that died in that house? Nami whispered. Thank you. And goodbye. There we go. And that was Otogirisou. Let's watch the credits roll. I would have to say overall, I liked it. But some of the story beats and stuff like that, and plot choices, that kind of thing, were a little silly. They seemed a little silly. And I appreciate what they were trying to do with just the images and the sound. The sound design was really good. I liked the sound design. Well, sorry, Ivan. I can't stop it. But overall, I liked it. I feel like this format of game slash visual novel or whatever, sound novel actually. That's actually what it was really called actually in Japan. Was a sound novel. Definitely feel like the format could have been even elevated even more. I would love to see a modern rendition of something like this. But yeah, Ivan, what I was saying was oh look, two little girls. What I was saying was that I enjoyed it overall, but some of the story beats and like plot points were just a little silly, which kind of shone through when I said stuff in a silly way, and then when stuff got a little bit more like ominous, I did like I got and I got a little more serious. But overall, was enjoyable. I liked it, but I feel like it could be even better than what it was. Made in 1992, Chunsoft. And like I was saying, this was originally called a sound novel, not just a visual novel. In Japan, I think it's called a sound. Try again. No, I won. There's no way this has multiple endings. Yeah, I guess if you like visual novels and got games that have like really nice sound design, then this would probably be up your alley. But I don't, in general, like a lot of visual novels. I've very seldom kind of partaken in a lot of them, very many of them at all. It's just because there's such a slow pace. I'd rather, I mean, it sounds weird to say something like I'd rather read a book than and that's maybe the difference, is that I feel like the pacing in visual novels and stuff like this, it's dictated by the game itself, rather than when you're reading a book or something, you dictate the own pace of it. And maybe that's the laziness in me or the impatient part of me that would prefer to read a book over a visual novel. But anyway, yeah, that was Otogirisou, Hypericum Perfortum. Like I said, I would love to see a modern rendition of this kind of game. And not just a visual novel, a sound novel like this, where it's just like we got really, really good sound design. That's my biggest praise for this. Sound design was really good. I liked it. But yeah. But there you go. If you guys have not already, please subscribe to the VODs channel. I'd really appreciate that. Like this video if you enjoyed this as well and want to see me play other visual novel games such as this, or horror visual novels, sound novels, anything like this in this kind of genre. Let me know in the comments below how you're feeling about that. And as always, you guys stay safe out there, go play some games, and we'll see you next time.